Welcome, everybody. Yeah, great job finding your way here. I know the Hall of Mirrors can be quite the maze, but you've earned your way here by participating in the Mirror Magic Challenge. This is an exclusive VIP session just for you, and I know you are going to love it because here in the Mirror Lab, real content walks in, looks in the mirror, and walks out with Genially superpowers. So, yeah, pretty fancy stuff. Very fancy. Now, before we get started, just a couple of quick notes for our live attendees. If you'd like to follow the session in your own language, you can just look for the little interpretation icon. If you're on the browser version, you'll see it right on the bottom bar. And if you're using the app, whether you're on desktop or mobile, you'll find it under the More menu. Once you've selected your desired language, you can unmute the original audio, totally up to you. That's the first thing that I wanted to share with you. And of course, we do have our Genially team here in the chat. If you have any questions, you can just drop them there in the chat and they'll be more than happy to help you out. The second thing is that the Mirror Lab is interactive. So I invite you to join our Genially Live now. We're going to put the link in the chat for you, the join link that just makes it a lot easier for you to join that Genially Live. You can enter your name and then you are in. Okay, just want to make sure I see some people in the waiting room. I just want to make sure to admit them all. There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, all right. So, welcome everybody, those of you who just joined us. So, you can listen to this in English, Espanol, or Italiano, up to you. And those directions are there for you. Again, our support team is in the chat if you have any questions about that. Okay, so yes, join the live session if you have not already, because yeah, that will allow you to click around through all of the different things that I'm going to be showing you during the session. So you're going to see a bunch of cool Genialize stuff, and I'm sure you're going to want to click around on it. So definitely make sure you join that. We're also, if we have some time there at the end, and there's the link in the chat. If you need it, you can click on that link, and that will allow you to join. Just go ahead and put your name in, and that will get you into the Genially Live. And if we have time for Q&A there at the end of the chat, at the end of the session, you can go ahead and put that in the chat. If you have any questions at any point, you can just drop them in the chat again. We have our team here supporting to help you out if you have any questions. Okay, so let's get started. I am James Flaskamp. I'm Genially's community builder for the US and Canada. And in mid-October, hundreds of folks entered the Mirror Magic Challenge by sending us your actual classroom training or course materials. Our team chose 4 of them to Genialize for this EDU session, and we chose 4 additional ones to Genialize for Thursday's corporate Mirror Lab session. So for each one of those transformations, we're going to follow the same basic format. We're going to start by taking a little tour of the original content, and then we'll see the genialized version. And then we'll hop in the editor, and I'll show you how some of the magic was created. Okay, so you can kind of see the behind the scenes, behind the curtain, I guess. And so we'll start with the least dramatic transformations and work our way up to the most dramatic. Okay, that's kind of how I've set this up. So if you're ready to see content get a genially glow up in real time, then let's go ahead and open the lab. Here we go. All right. So first off, we're going to start with this glucolysis presentation. Thank you to Kathleen Saavedra from Chile for submitting our first piece of content. Yeah, glucolysis or glycolysis in English. This is a presentation that was actually created in Genially. Yes, we can genialize Genialise. That's a thing, right? Okay, so I'm going to show you how that works. So we're going to take a quick tour of the original. Now, if you're in the Genially Live, you can click into this, right? You can make this full screen just like I'm doing, and you can click around and kind of see how this works. So taking a look through this, it's this was made from a Genially template. And then I think Kathleen added all of the photos of all the cute dogs. I love the cute dogs. Wonderful, wonderful dogs throughout this presentation, right? And then, so you can see we kind of have we have some slide to slide transitions. We have a few, interactive windows and things like that. We have a lot of good information here. There is on some of the screens, there's kind of a high cognitive load, right? So we have a lot of information that I know Kathleen was trying to communicate through this Genially. And so there are a lot of pages in this Genially and a lot of information and a lot of cute dogs, right? Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the genialized version. Here we go. Yes, we have the fancy sound effects and everything. So this in the Mirror Lab, this became this new this transformation, this genialized version of glucolysis. And this one was, I got to give a shout out to Estefania on our creative team. She is the one who genialized this. And so, okay, so you can click through this. Feel free to just click along on your own as I'm showing this on the screen. But I wanted to just point out a few little things. So first off, Estefania used the molecules presentation template. So this was a template in Genially, something maybe a little bit more appropriate to the subject matter. I'm sad that we lost the cute dogs, but this I guess kind of fits it a little bit more. And so as we begin and kind of move through, you'll see that we've broken up some of the text chunks into some reveals, kind of like what you're seeing there. We have some interactive windows. We have some section headers like this, right? We have some flip cards. So when you have your flip cards, you have some key terms and ideas. And then on the back, you have some more information. You'll see flip cards throughout our Genialize transformations today because that's just a great way to communicate information and communicate a lot of it on one page, right? So here are the interactive windows you can see were built into this one. Okay, let me just continue and see what else we have here. Oh yes, for all the images, right? They have the simple just full screen interactivity, right? So you can make them full screen, be able to see the images a lot easier, especially with some of these more complex images. And then we also have some hotspots like that, some hotspots where you can add some additional information as well. Let's see, what else do we have here? So the hotspots, the image full screen. Yes, I wanted to show you this carousel. This is another nice little addition that Estefania added in. So here's a carousel, an image carousel that when you click on each image, you can full screen it, see it a little bit larger, see the entire image in this case, right? And put several images on the same page, right? So lots of good info there. And then we also have some interactive windows that open up when you click on the two buttons at the bottom. Okay. We also have, and I think we had a flip card deck here somewhere. We have this. Okay. So here's flip card with the types of reactions, right? And I think this is it. Here's the flip card deck that I wanted to show you. So this one has terms and information, and then when you're finished with it, you move the card out of the way, and now you have your new one. So if you haven't used this before, this is our flip card deck widget, which is really, really cool and helpful to add. Notice in this case, you don't have to make the cards small enough to fit all of them on the screen. You can have nice large cards and just have them in a deck. So yeah, so that is kind of the quick little tour of what Estefania ended up doing with this one to genialize it. And so I wanted to show you, I'm going to hop into my editor real quick, and I just want to show you maybe a couple of quick things here. So let me jump into the glucolysis here and we'll take a look. Okay, so to make an image full screen, right? So that's just one of the simple things. So let me go down here to one of these images that we had going full screen. Super simple, super easy. If you haven't done this before, you can just click on the image right here, click on the interactivity. You see that it's already there, but you can, when you go to add an interaction, you have full screen on the list, and you simply just choose full screen. That's all you have to do. Nothing special, super easy, right? And you can make all of these images full screen very simply. Setting up a hotspot, like in this case, where we have the hotspot and then it opens up this little window of information here. That's also pretty easy to do. You just go ahead and put the text box here on the screen, right? That's what you see. Estefania did that. Add whatever animations you want, group it all together into one thing, right? So we have the rectangle in the background and the text box in the foreground. And then you just simply create a reveal animation, right? So you do reveal, and then you just click on whatever it is you want to reveal, right? So in this case, it's that little text box. Notice we do have the option to hide it when clicked again, right? So we do have that turned on. We save it, and so then when we go into preview mode, we can test it out and make sure that it does what we want. So it'll appear and disappear. So there we go. Yeah, and then I'm gonna go a little bit more into the flip cards, I think a little bit later with some of the other transformations, but I'll show you the carousel setup. So this carousel is a widget, right? So you would find that here in your widget menu on the left. And you can add as many images as you want to this carousel. You see Estefania added 4 of them. And yeah, it's just as simple as, choosing an image, adding it from your computer or whatever. You can choose your display option. In this case, she just had the normal horizontal carousel, showing the controls there. And now you have your carousel. And for each one of these, it automatically will full screen the image, right? So when you click on the image, it'll automatically full screen it when you have the carousel. Okay, so that is our first genialized transformation. So we're just kind of getting warmed up here. Let's move on to our next transformation. So this one is a Google Slides presentation. This one is one that I plan to show this one to my kids afterwards, actually. I think it could be helpful. You might want to think about if you want to show it to your kids afterwards too. Feel free to do the same. This one came to us courtesy of Kathleen McGuire from the US. I know we've had 2 Kathleens in a row. I thought it was kind of funny. I promise it's not going to be all Kathleens in the session today. We'll have some name variety very soon. But yes, thank you, Kathleen, for sending this in. We'll take a look at this Google Slides presentation real quick. And so yeah, let me do full screen here. And so you can see as you're going through here, and if you're an experienced Genializer, you might already kind of have the same idea in your mind that we had when we first saw this. So you see the proper table setting. So it's all of this is static, just images and text, very basic, right? I mean, just your standard basic sort of Google Slides presentation that you would see, in an everyday classroom, right? Let's Genialize it. All right. I love that noise. It's so fun. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. This one came to us courtesy of Mia from our LATAM team. So shout out to Mia for genializing this one. So she used the minimalist business proposal template on this one. Create some clean modern frames, right? She added an index here on the main section so that you can jump to different areas of the presentation. Kind of chunked it into different parts. Notice that she has some images here that when you click on the images, she has some reveal animations set up. So just a little bit of interactivity there when you click on the images. This is just a normal page. This one's cool. It has some interactive windows for each one of these, for the dinnerware, for the flatware, for the drinkware. All right, kind of cool. And then here, this is my favorite part of this particular Genially. I thought this was awesome how Mia did this. So we have the menu across the top here, right? So she used a menu widget, and she has this section chunked into dinnerware, flatware, drinkware, and then the quiz. And so you can see this shows where the dinnerware should go. This shows where the flatware should go. This shows where the drinkware should go. So you kind of study and take a look at that, see where everything belongs, and then you go to your quiz. And so yes, this was a really, like, when you first saw this Google Slides presentation, that's what I was saying. You may have thought about this. Let's make some stuff draggable, right? We need to have some draggable stuff here. And so in this quiz, you can drag things to where you think they belong. So I'm going to take my napkin and put it over here in my salad plate. You're going to see how cultured I am right now. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know how well I'm going to do here. Oh, I cannot remember where the soup bowl was for the life of me. I'm not really sure. I know there was a bread plate somewhere. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be a disaster. I don't know if I'm going to get this right. Anyways, I can check my answers by clicking on the I right here. Oh yeah, I totally that was awful. That was awful. I need to do better next time. Maybe I should study a little bit longer next time around. But yeah, so that answer key was created. I'll show you how that answer key was created here in just a second. But that just makes a simple drag and drop answer key so that students can check that afterwards. I have it so that she has it so that you can hide it afterwards and try again if you want to, right? Drag some things around and try it again. And so, yeah, I like that a lot. That was a nice touch by Mia. So we have then our table etiquette. We have some flip cards here. So there was a lot of information there on across a lot of different slides. And so she just took that information, put them into flip cards here so that you can kind of chunk that a little bit and reduce that cognitive load just a little bit. And then the summary and then the thank you. So yeah, nicely done by Mia. And so yeah, I'll just show you, I'm going to show you one quick thing with that one. And that is the drag and drop self-checking activity. Okay, so the hint here, the trick is you set up the answer key first. That would be the first thing you want to do. Okay, and so this one right here, there's the answer key. See that? She has that all grouped together. So she put everything where it belonged first, put that in the background, made that a little bit transparent, right? The opacity, changed that a little bit, right? So that it kind of fades into the background a little bit. And then she set up a reveal animation, right? So the reveal animation will reveal that grouped set of, cups and plates and everything else. So when somebody clicks on this eye, they can get that. And then she put in all the other elements. And for each of these elements to make them draggable, it's as simple as clicking on the element and then clicking on this little hand up at the top, right? So if you haven't made something draggable in Genially before, very, very easy. You just click it and then you click the hand and now it's draggable in the view mode, okay? And so working backwards now, you can go back and you can do each one of these, the drinkware, the flatware, the dinnerware, right? You can just go through and just delete the things that you don't need from that answer key. And now you have each of these pages that leads up and scaffolds into the final test. Okay, so that's kind of how you can set up a self-checking drag and drop in Genially. Okay, all right, let's head back to our presentation and take a look at our third transformation. Okay, so this one is one that came from our friends in Italy, where my Italian friends at. Yeah. So this one came from Diego Bernal in Italy, and this is a Canva group slide deck, basically. So it's for a group presentation, it looks like. Mostly just static imagery, right? Some animations, some of the just the included animations in Canva, but you kind of get the idea. It's a standard one of those Canva presentations. Okay, let's genialize it. So this one came to us courtesy of my good friend Luis, the community builder in Latin America. So Luis did this one and he did some really cool stuff. So you can see, use some GIF files, some animated GIFs here to give you some movement on the title page. We have some animations here and some use of color, some nice use of color. You notice he used these pixelated sort of images, these sort of video game looking images. These were all created with Genially AI, right? With our AI image generator using the pixel filter. And so, yeah, Luis created all the images that you see here with Genially, added in some GIF files here to make them kind of come to life. This is cool. He used our AI audio generator here for this. So you see there's a tooltip that pops up the information, and then when you
Le
click on it,
professioni STEAM, come sviluppatori di software, designer UX, UI e data scientist, combinano capacità tecniche e artistiche per creare.
so there we go. Yeah, you can do it in any language you need. That one, of course, is in Italian, and I think it sounds pretty good. I don't speak Italian. Maybe Clay, our Italian community builder, can attest to whether that sounds good in Italian. It sounded good to me. But yeah, you can continue here and see he did another one of those slide decks that you saw in Estefania's example. So we have this. Cool. And notice he incorporated those pixelated images all throughout. Just a really cool sort of theme here. You also notice he used a lot of these arrows, right, to kind of direct the eye in certain directions and through each page. And you'll see actually, oh, this is one of my favorite pages of the whole Genially. So you see this one, he has a collection of flip cards where he used the background of an AI, Genially AI generated image. Super awesome. Then you flip it over and you see the information about the historical figure. So that's really, really great addition that he did. Here's some more of those, right? He included a chart here, interactive chart to show some information graphically. I really like what he did here. He took this GIF and made it a reveal animation. When you click on the GIF, it reveals some more information here, some more flip cards. And, oh, yes, and this is the one where you used arrows to kind of draw your eye to where it needs to go throughout the page. So it starts there, goes to there, goes to there, goes to there. Really nicely done. And then there we go. So that's the end of that presentation. So yeah, so for this one, I just wanted to show you the pixel illustration library. This is pretty cool. So when you go to insert a resource and you click on illustrations and show more, now you can see we have libraries of illustrations here, right? So tons and tons and tons of different illustrations. And you notice one of them is the pixel one. So you might recognize some of these, right? He used a lot of these in the presentation. He also used Genially AI to create a lot of the other images that you see. Okay, so yeah, and then that GIF plus the reveal interactivity, very very cool, right? You can take any anything in Genially, you can click it and make a reveal interactivity, and so yeah, doing that was a really cool idea. Okay, we have come to our fourth and final transformation, and this one is a little bit nostalgic if you're one of my US friends or if you've ever played the Oregon Trail game on DOS computers back in the day, the command prompt. So this is the Overland Trails. This last one, it comes from BB Bungar in the US. And so yeah, if you remember that Oregon Trail game from forever ago, you better buckle up because it's about to get genialized. Here we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Overland Trails. And so this one has some sound. I'm gonna mute and unmute a little bit here so it's not drowning me out. But you hear it has its little soundtrack, right? We have our title screen here, and this one does have a handout associated with it. So there's a student handout where they keep track of the decisions and the things that they're doing in this Overland Trails Genially. Okay, so we have audio narration.
Before the first transcontinental railroad in 1869.
Right. All the narration, by the way, in this Genially was AI generated, either by Genially AI or by ChatGPT. And here's a cool thing. We have this choose your occupation screen. This is a randomizer, and whatever it ends up landing on takes you to the occupation screen. So here, let's see what occupation we end up getting. So I'm gonna click on this. Ah, we're a factory worker. Okay, so our factory worker starts with a certain budget, right? Has certain trail perks and drawbacks. And so, yeah, it's set up like a full-blown game. Here, let's try again. Let's see if we can get somebody else. Yeah, factory worker is the most common one. That's actually why you get factory worker a little bit more often. Ah, there we go. We have farmer. You can be a farmer. He gets a little bit more money, has some different trail perks and drawbacks, right? Okay, so I'm gonna pull through here and go to the next little section. So you choose your trail, the Oregon Trail or the California Trail. That's why this is called the Overland Trails, because you can choose either one. So I'll choose the Oregon Trail. That's one of our decision points, interactive questions that you just saw. And there are gonna be a bunch of those throughout this Genially, lots and lots and lots. Now, I wanna show you something really, really cool here. This is the general store. So when you go to the general store, we have an AI generated widget here. If you saw the Wicked Wizard session yesterday, you might know a little bit about this. But if you didn't, you definitely need to check it out. This is an AI generated widget. This was generated in Genially with our brand new prototype AI widget generator. And this baby keeps track of your budget. So say I'm a farmer, I can choose my budget. It keeps track of how much money I'm spending on things. I can choose what I'm purchasing, right? Do all that stuff. I can choose my food cards. And then when I do finish and show receipt, check it out. It gives me my receipt. I can do the download receipt and it'll save it as a PDF. So if my teacher needs, proof of whatever I purchased, or I need a reminder of what I purchased, I can save this as a PDF, even print it out, right? Here, let me go back into this. And then when I'm done, I can exit out of here. It says, oh, you're going to lose it if you go, and then you go. Okay. And so then you hit the trail. And so I'll just show you just a couple of quick things. I know we're running a little bit short on time. But depending on the decisions you make, you might get something like that where it's a bad decision, and then you have to kind of go back, or you'll get something like this where it's a good decision, right? I'm just kind of moving through. These arrows wouldn't be here when the students are playing the game, obviously. I just did it for easy navigation. So there you have it, the Genialize results of the Mirror Lab. We are really excited to be able to give each of our lucky content submitters their upgraded versions. So yeah, you're going to be getting that soon, and we'll also be adding reusable versions of each of these to the community tab so everyone can take them for a spin. So no worries if you didn't get a chance to click around as much as you wanted to. You're going to be able to do that for sure. Remember that if you're here in the Mirror Lab, you also have FastPass VIP access to the future ride, which will be departing in just a little bit. So I look forward to seeing you there. And that'll do it for this session. Thank you all for attending and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.